What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Cracka Crumbs update. Comic book day! Yeah. That tired me out. This is actually a remake of my comic book haul video because my original one that I had put up this morning, for some strange reason, wouldn't upload. And then when I went back to check and make sure, see what the hell was going on with it, I don't know, it got corrupted or whatever, and that was the end of it. So I was like, alright, whatever, which it's kind of good that it got corrupted because I actually, on the original video, I didn't get a package in the mail, but one did come late, so I got, on top of my haul, I got my delivery, so that's kind of cool. So I guess that is kind of good. Things happen for a reason. I'm able to make a different video, but I'm still going to tell you the exact same stuff I told in the original that got destroyed. You gotta forgive me, I'm just exhausted. I just had a really, really long day, and I actually, like I said, I've told people before, I'm trying to switch my schedule, get back on the daylight schedule, and it's just knocking me on my ass. All the things I had to do today, just exhausting. So I'm kind of out of it. I actually even took a little bit of a nap, like a 2-hour nap, and I'm still tired. So there might be some screw ups on here because I'm just kind of so tired. I'm like, eh. But anyway, this morning when I made the original video, I had 42 subscribers, and there we go, that's where it comes into play. But now that I'm making the video now at 11:30 at night, I have 44 subscribers. Yay! And I'd like to thank them now. Roger69501, thanks for subscribing, appreciate it. Comic Book Collector's Web, Gene Pole, Ace Peter, thank you for subscribing, appreciate it. I'm not sure if I thanked this person already, because like I said, it's one of those days, and I'm starting to lose track. But Hero Hunter 81, thanks for subscribing. Let's see who else. Warbound 0459, thanks for subscribing, appreciate it. And Hero Hunter 81. Before I get into my actual haul that I got in my unboxing, it's gonna be a long video, so you might want to sit back and get some popcorn and soda or whatever it is you drink and just watch. You might enjoy it. Anyway, Hero Hunter 81, you asked me a question where you were saying you haven't gone to a convention or you missing anything, and all I could say is yeah, you are. But like I've said on previous videos, is that it's very sore, so don't mind me moving around. It all depends for conventions on your patience and what you're willing to pay. And with conventions, they're just awesome to go to because you can meet a lot of new, interesting people. You see a lot of really kick-ass costumes, celebrities, especially your favorite artists, stuff like that you can meet, or writer. But as for deal-wise, like you were asking if you get good deals, it all depends on the vendor usually, but it also depends on your timing. I always say look around the entire place. Go to every vendor looking for whatever it is you're looking for and take notes of what they're charging. Because chances are if you buy, let's use this as an example, you want to buy Amazing Spider-Man 39, and one vendor is selling this for $100. You go 3 or 4 vendors down, they're selling for 50. You go another one down, they're selling for 40. So that's a good thing to look for. And number 2, like I said, timing and patience, which is risky on this, but usually if you wait to the last day, the last hour or two, before the place closes for good, for whatever it is, go to the same vendor. And again, if it's to say the best price you found was $50, go to that vendor and say, how much is this? And they'll say oh, $50. Be like, any way you can do better. And chances are they'll lower it to 25 or less. You never can tell. But I actually got a lot of good deals last year. Well, this year, I'm sorry, at the Philly Comic Con in June. I got a lot of stuff I didn't think they were going to drop as far as they did, and they did. There was a lot of old comics that I got. They were asking for a fortune, but then the last day I decided what the hell, I'll give it a shot. That's how I was able to fill up my McFarlane collection for Spider-Man. One of the guys that actually had the full run was charging a fortune, but I went on the Sunday, the last possible hour, and I bought all the McFarlane issues from him for really, really cheap. I don't really remember how much it really was. I think it might have been $30 or $35 for all of them, and I was missing a lot. I only had about, I think, 4 to 6 of the original McFarlane stuff. I know I had to fill in the gaps, so on top of a couple other ones he threw in, which was the Black Cat, the first appearance of Black Cat. So it was pretty cool. But moving on. So hopefully that answers your question. James Crowder 77. You were talking about because I said my fiance gets pissed off. I know Mongo Stomptown 7 was talking about it. Uh, make up a budget. Well, I'll tell you one thing, man. Today my budget went right out the friggin' window, and that was fun. Believe me. So we'll get into that later too. Uh, One other thing I'd like to say, like I said before, I get into a lot of the stuff, but I really want to thank Cursive Man and King Joe because you guys really went above and beyond and helped me with my antique problem. You definitely pointed me in the right direction. You gave me links and all sorts of stuff of what to look for. So I really, really appreciate it. You guys didn't have to go all out like that, but you did, and I really am appreciative. So thank you very, very much. You made my day on that, because now I know, like I said, I'm in the right direction now. So thanks again. I really appreciate it. And Cursive Man, very cool. I was watching your video. That's the other good thing about making a second video is I was able to watch everyone's videos. So very, very cool. Journey into Mystery Thor, very impressive. Cool haul you got. King Joe, I really gotta catch up on your videos, man. I'm slacking. You got a lot of them, and I wanna watch all the toy videos. Just I've been kind of busy, so I'm watching stuff periodically. So again, to everyone who's my subscriber, I will get to all your videos. I will make comments, so don't worry about that. It just takes some time, especially lately. Another good thing about doing a second video is when I made my first video today, I was just pissed at a couple things. Again, I've said this before in other videos, but I'm just really getting annoyed at how comic book stores are getting very greedy. And I'm going to tell you about that rant because it was interesting. I thought it was interesting. And of course, I was talking to my friend and my fiance, and she's like, "Hey, you got to calm down." I'm like, "It just gets me. It really just does." But get to that in a sec. But Mongo Stomp 7, you were saying to your girlfriend, she got the new shirts with the Batman, which is pretty cool. My fiance's the same way. She pokes fun and comics and stuff. Blah, blah, blah. Now she's collecting comics, and she has a lot of comic shirts. She has a Wonder Woman shirt now that everyone loves. Her family's like, "That's great." People at work, "Oh my God, that's cool." And she has one that she goes. I call it the convention shirt because she's had it for a couple of years now. But it's a Spider-Man shirt, and it says, "I met my boyfriend on the web." So and that gets a lot of acknowledgement. I remember when we went to the Philly Comic Con this year in June. She was wearing that, and Stan Lee noticed it, and he's like, "Oh, hey, is it true?" And she's like, "No, I didn't really meet him on the internet." And so he's like, "Oh, yeah." And Dean Cain, "Oh, is it true?" And I was like, "Oh my God." And she's just like, "Oh my God," she goes, "This shirt works." I was like, "I told you." And sometimes she's afraid. Sometimes she'll get out of the house when we go somewhere, and I'll spring on her and be like, "Oh, can we stop at the comic book store? I forgot to get something." And she'll be wearing a comic book shirt, and then she notices. And before she walks in, she's like, "Oh crap, I got the comic book shirt on." I'm like, "What? You'll fit in?" She's like, "No." She's like, "Everyone's gonna come and talk to me." I'm like, "Oh my God." It is a funny sight. It is because she stole my Captain America shirt, which was one of my favorite shirts. She stole both of them actually, and we went into a comic book store. This was like a month ago, and just people were just talking like, hey, you want some Captain America shirt? Yeah. And she's like looking around like she's getting all nervous. She's like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna get attacked." But anyway, so that's an interesting thing. So very cool, Mongo Stomp 7. Gotta start them up small. Anyway, another cool thing I got today when I did some food shopping, I have a Punisher and not a Punisher, a Green Goblin and a Magneto one of these, but now I got a Punisher one. So that's pretty cool, a little sticker. Like I said, this is going to be a long video, so again, sit back and enjoy. Another thing real fast, I had completed the first, I guess, episode, which I think is going to be episode 46 of Cracka. I don't know, I can't remember. I put it on here, but it was the first real episode of me decommissioning my cave for obvious reasons, and it goes over the Batmobiles. But I wanted to show this one again. This is the tumbler. Basically, I'm getting ready to start bubble wrapping all of them. So I did a video showing you whatever was in the cave and how I'm going to go about it. But my friend's like, "Oh, you should show these." And I've shown these before on another video, a toy video. my Batmobile collection video. So you might want to take a look if you want to see better stuff. But this is the tumbler out of the box. It does do cool things. Does that. I do have the missiles for it. Just I've already packed them away. And of course, it's got thruster, as well as very cool. So yeah, that's the tumbler, which I'm gonna be packing up later today. Because like I said, my schedule's all messed up, so I got like a really weird, just I guess thing, because I took a nap, so now I'm up, which was probably the worst thing I could have done, was taking a nap. But yeah, whatever. Anyway. Alright, let me tell you a bit of a rant here. So bear with me, I hope you guys don't get too pissed off, and hope you're enjoying the video. There's a comic book store I've been quite loyal to, and but it's kind of out of my way. I mean, it's like about 30 to 40 minute drive from where I live. And it's a great store and stuff like that. But I was actually in the area, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to get my comic book stuff from there today, change it up a little bit. And they're pretty good, because they actually open earlier than most comic stores. They open up at 9, and usually they get their shipments on Tuesday, and everything's usually all ready. So when you get in there on Wednesday, just all the new stuff's up already. And the owner's really cool. You know, I was always happy. So I figured, what the hell, I'll go take a look. And I went in at like 9:05, and I was looking at the wall, and it was just bare. And I'm like, what the hell? There was a couple of zeros that I had from last week that I already had. So I'm like, all right, what's going on? And I asked the owner, I was like, do you have any of the zeros? He's like, yeah, they're all gone. And I'm like, how are they all gone? Because you just opened like 5 minutes ago. He's like, oh, they were all pulls. He's like, there was no extras. And I was like, oh, okay. So I was kind of like a little shocked, because normally he's got extras, and I was like, all right, I guess that sucks. But like I said, why are you angry? I'll tell you why I'm angry. I went there a couple weeks ago, and they're very good with back issues. They have usually really great deals, and they usually have a lot of back issues that I can't find anywhere else. And there was a couple comics I didn't get because I was just pretty much out of money. So I was like, oh, maybe next time I come back, if they still have it, I'll pick it up. And I was like, all right. So and then I went to go. Before I went to go check the books, because I totally forgot about them, I was getting ready to leave, and the owner's like, oh, did you want to make a pull list? I'll pull the zeros for the, I'll get another shipment. I mean, the newer shipment next week, so I'm tired, so I'm getting confused. And I'm sitting there, I was like, all right, what the hell? I was like, I'm really usually never out here, but having them pulled is better than not having them pulled, because I don't have to worry about them. I know I have them in there. And a lot of the comic stores I go to now, they don't do pulls anymore, because people were getting pissed that they weren't able to get the issues, and some, it's a whole big thing. But so I told the guy, I was like, yeah, I'll do a pull. So I wrote down a list of the new stuff coming out next week that I wanted, and I went to leave, and he's like, all right, he's like, that'll be $30, and I was like, $30? I was like, why am I paying $30? And he's like, well, I charge $10 for the box. I'm charging $10 for I think he said like a pulling, handling, and storage fee, and then he charges $10 for every 5 titles you pick. So if you pick 1 title, he charges you, but if you pick 5, he charges you more. And he kept going on and on about all these prices, that he charges for just pulling weekly stuff. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I was like, no. I was like, I'm good. I was like, forget about it. Don't worry. He's like, oh, but it's a great deal. And of course, everyone's go-to move, because I asked him, I was like, why are you charging money? He's like, oh, because the economy sucks. I have to make my money somehow. Excuse me. And I was like, nah, man, it just ain't worth it. And so then I did a quick look around, because I was just like, all right, this is getting insane. Just because I was getting ready to just not go there anymore. So I took a quick look around, and the same comics that I wanted 2 weeks ago, he upped, where it was, some of them were double to triple what they originally were 2 weeks ago, and I was like, this is insane. And there was a customer in there, and I was talking to him. I was like, do you, just out of curiosity, like, do you do any pulls? He's like, yeah. He goes, he goes, but this is the last time. He's like, because I just can't afford it. He's charging me a fortune just to pull stuff. And he goes, and it sucks, because it's the only way I can get my comics, because I don't have a car, and I don't have a lot of money, so I can't do public transportation. And this is the only way I get my comics, and he never has any more than what the pull list is, so he doesn't order any extras. He's like, so if you're not on the pull list, you're not going to get any new comics. And I was like, that's just insane. So that just really pissed me off. And when I was talking to the guy, he's like, yeah, I've been a customer here since 1990, and he was never like this. And now he's got the attitude where he just doesn't give a shit anymore. And he's gonna basically lose me as a comic book customer because I just can't afford to shop here anymore. And I'm sitting there, I was like, hey, he's gonna lose me too. And if you lose your valued customers, man, you don't have to worry about the economy because you're just gonna go out of business. So that really kind of pissed me off. And no, so I left there and didn't buy anything, and I went to the other comic store. It's about 10 minutes away from me. And I had last week they was all screwed up because of the holiday, so their shipment was they put it out late. But of course, I got there half hour after they opened, and their shipment was in full force already. And a lot of the new comics I got were pretty much the last one. There was almost like fights over them that people were coming in trying to grab them, so it was insane. But without further ado, let me show you these some long video as it is. But that was pretty much my rant why I was pissed off. Another thing I'm kind of pissed is this is, for example, this is in a Mylar bag. Very solid. I originally didn't like them, but I actually like the way they make things look, especially from the older comics. But I was trying to track them down, and 3 comic stores I went to, nobody sells Mylar bags anymore. The comic store I frequent the most, they used to sell them, and I was like, do you have any Mylar bags? Like, oh, we just don't carry them anymore. He goes, they're about $17 a bag, a bag of a group of 100, which isn't too bad because I just want to get them to put my old comics in, just for extra protection. It does make them look cooler. My newer stuff I could care less. I could put them in regular poly bags, so I'm gonna have to look into that. But let me get into my stuff here before this video goes past the 3-hour mark. I'm gonna use this for an example later, so I'm gonna leave that out. Anyway. I got Avengers vs. X-Men round 11. I actually had time to bag and board them because this is obviously like a redo of my video. But I'm very interested to read this one because I like the storyline so far. This looked funny as hell. It's just Avenging Spider-Man number 12 with Deadpool. Looks like they're at the principal's office. Very interesting. I haven't read any of the previous ones of these, but this just looked really, really cool, and I am a fan. Avengers Assemble number 7 with Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet, and it's cool because if you look at the actual gems, it has people in them, Captain America and stuff. So I'm very interested to read this one. I did not read the first one of this, but everyone's telling me how great it is, and I decided to buy number 2 because I like the art, and I figured I'd give it a shot, and if it is good enough, then I'll track down the first one. But that's Hawkeye number 2. And I know Curse of Man, he should have this by now. I was watching your video, I don't know if you already got it or not, but I know Mongo Stomptime with 7, your girlfriend's going to like this. I hope. I'm not a huge fan of this, but obviously Curse of Man and Mongo Stomptime know what I'm talking about. But the character himself, I do love. I think he's an awesome, badass character. But this is the Mighty Thor number 14. I just thought this was a really awesome looking cover. I guess I was enchanted with the Enchantress cover. It's very, very cool. So I'm looking forward to reading that. This one I got because I have the previous 8, and it's actually not a bad book. That's Scarlet Spider number 9. Very cool. And this, the previous issue was really good, and the newer issue didn't disappoint either. It's Incredible Hulk number 13. I did get a chance to read this one, so I'm going to give you a quick review on it. I'm not going to give you any spoilers because there's actually some pretty cool stuff in here. This, if you like action stuff like that and the fight scenes, this isn't your book because there's none of it in here. This basically is like a huge story about why Banner is after the Hulk. Because if you read the one before it, Banner basically found a cure to destroy the Hulk, and that's what you think is going to happen in this, but it actually has a surprise ending, which I didn't see coming. But it was just really cool. It was a really good story, which I haven't seen a really good story in books lately. I mean, I've seen good ones, but this is just where it was all story, which is really, really good, and I just kept, oh my god, what's going to happen next? So, but this was just awesome. It has an appearance by Dr. Doom in it. I know a lot of Doom fans out there. And it does have a really cool ending. So, if you like the Hulk, pick this one up. Moving on to my Zeros. I'm going to show you some crazy stuff, because I'll tell you a little bit of a story with them as I go along. But, I do have the first 3 of these, and they weren't all that great. But I figure what the hell I'll get number 0 because just to fit in my collection, and hopefully it's better than the other ones. That's Grifter #0. It was a pretty cool looking cover. I got a Deathstroke #0. And unfortunately, like I said, I really blew my budget out of the water. But on some of the, I'm going to tell you why later. But this was the last copy. And I was lucky to get him. I was lucky to get there on time. The time I did anyway. That's the Suicide Squad #0. There was almost a fight over this. I got a Superboy #0. The Green Lantern Corps 0. This is another one that was the last copy of that they had, which is Batgirl #0. Another one with the last copy, Batman and Robin #0. This was actually a really good story too. It focuses on Damian, which is I'm going to tell you a story a little later too. So, like I said, it's going to be a long video. But this actually wasn't too bad. It was pretty cool. I got a chance to read that one too. And another reason why my budget was blown out of the water is these were the last 2 copies of each. I wanted the regular one, but they already sold out of them, so I'm just happy to have gotten these anyway. And this is Batman #0. This is the combo pack, which I really didn't want because I don't really care about the digital copy. But this was $4.99, so it kind of sucked because I wanted to get the Frankenstein Agent of Shade, or I think it was called, and the Demon Knight one. Just didn't have any cash left. But also I got obviously this, but I got the variant of Batman #0 with the white. There really was going to be a brawl over this because I had grabbed these and a couple of the other ones that were singles, and just as I was done grabbing, people were coming in like, "Oh, do you have Batman #0?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's on the wall." He's like, "Oh no, we're sold out." And I'm like, "Yeah, you didn't." I was hiding. I'm like, "Yeah, you didn't see any of that." But I did learn something new too about these white covers. There was 2 guys in there, and one guy had a huge collection of comics there he was growing, and the other guy was like, "Oh, I used to collect comics. I'm trying to get back into them. Maybe I'll start with these." And he's like, "What's the difference with these white covers?" And the owner had a good answer. He's like, "What it is?" He goes, "There's a lot of times when zeros come out, or a milestone, or a #1, they'll make these white cover variants. Also, especially if there's like a convention going around. And the sole reason is for artists to draw on this and sign it and everything, so you don't ruin your cover, I guess, because this is the exact same cover that's in here. This is just over this, so it's like an extra cover." So that's pretty cool, and because lately people, I remember like my friends like, "Oh, I can't stand getting stuff signed, because it goes across and they ruin the cover," and I'm like, "Oh, all right, whatever." So this is kind of a good alternative. But a funny thing, like with my friend, like I was saying, was just the oddest thing, and let's see if anyone agrees. But a couple of my friends actually go to conventions and they get stuff signed, and they flip out. They're like, "I don't want the book signed because he values the book, and if I want to get it graded." There's a whole big thing with like them grading now, like CGC, like they have to witness the signature, or you get like a lower grade or some crap like that. It's insane. But what my friend does now, which I just think is, I guess I can't really say it's stupid because there's really, I guess, no wrong thing, but to me, I find it stupid. No offense, but say this, for example, he'll take this, say he has this and he wants to get it signed by Stan Lee. Now, if I was getting this signed by Stan Lee, I'd have Stan Lee sign it wherever, doesn't matter. What he does is he takes it out of the Mylar or bag, whatever it is, and has Stan Lee or whoever sign the cardboard, and then he puts the thing back in. So you got the cover here, and then you flip it over, and there's the signature on the cardboard. And I said to him one time, I was like, "Why do you do that?" He's like, "Oh, because I don't want it in the book." I was like, "Dude, you're not really getting the book signed. You're just getting a piece of cardboard signed. It's not like it's gonna be like, oh, I got Amazing Spider-Man #39 signed. No, I have cardboard signed." That's just, I don't know. I don't get it. That's just me, I guess. And another thing I just find funny as hell, like I said, this is going to be a long video. I love when people are in comic book stores and they think they know things, and they really don't. And they're kind of making themselves look stupid because everyone in the comic store is kind of like, really? And then this one guy that was in there today, just on this huge rant, and he was just being like a real dick. He's going over this, like he's looking at this comic. He actually had one. Well, his friend had it. And he's like, yeah, he's like, this is Dick Grayson. Dick Grayson's awesome. He's like, he's the best Robin. And he kind of contradicts himself, and like his friend goes, "That's not Dick Grayson, dude." He's like, "That's Damian." He's like, "Who the hell's Damian?" And he's like, "It's Batman's son." He's like, "No, Batman doesn't have a son." And he's like, that's Dick Grayson." And he's like, "No." And then they were getting into a fight over. He's like, "No, man." He's like, "This is who it is." He goes, "There's only one Robin. That's Dick Grayson." And he's like, this other guy comes around. He's like, actually, he's like, there's quite a few Robins. He goes, there's Tim Drake, there's Damien, there was a girl Robin, there's Dick Grayson, obviously. And the guy's like, the guy like flipped out. He's like, oh, he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, you must be on crack. And I was just like, oh my god. And then the guy started talking about Wolverine, how what the hell was it, that Wolverine's real name is Logan, which, you know, it's not wrong, but it's also James Howlett the third, and this guy corrected him, and the guy's like, no, it's Logan. He's like, he doesn't. Where do you get James from? And the guy's like, when was the last time you read a Wolverine book? He's like, he hasn't used the name Logan in forever. He goes, his real name is James Howlett. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. He goes, he's like, did you see the Origins movie? He's like, yeah. He's like, what did he? His name was James Howlett. No, it was Logan. But anyway, always fun. But let's move on to my unboxing here, because again, this is a long ass video, and but hopefully it's been fun. Let's see what we got here. I don't know which book this is. Like I said, ooh, paper cut. That's gonna suck. Anyway, I did order a few things, so I don't know which is which here. I only got one package, so that's kind of cool. Ah, oh, interesting. Wow, wasn't in tape, just kind of went. Very cool, nonetheless. Man, I really did hurt for a paper cut. That's a lot of fun. But yeah, I'm gonna have to definitely change this, because I mean, I do like the thing it's in, but I'm gonna have to change it. This is Adventures into Fear, the Man-Thing, with the Man-Thing number 19, which is actually the first appearance of Howard the Duck. Very, very cool. It's in like one of those old school things, but there's no way in hell I'm leaving it in there, because it's not even, it's got a board, but it's not bagged. So that kind of sucks. Let me try to check the condition. Well, it's definitely not near mint. You know, the guy said near mint, and it's pretty much full of it on that one. Well, which is tough, because you can't really tell on pictures anymore, because they don't show you all the cracks and stuff like that. But this was made in '73, so it's in pretty damn good shape, considering it's from '73. But either way, like I said, if you watch my videos, you know how I am with first appearances, so I now have the first appearance of Howard the Duck. Very, very cool. And yeah, that's that. I'm gonna say that's about it. That's as far as I'm gonna go with this video, because it's been long enough as it is. I've showed you my holes, my unboxing, my Batmobile, some cool stuff. Thanks for watching. I want to thank all my new subscribers as well as my old subscribers. Anyone, if you like this thing, hit the little like button. I'm gonna put a lot of links down there below. Check them out if you're someone new watching these. They are good people there. They have some great videos. Check them out. If you really like what you see, hit the subscribe button. If you're a new person watching this, you know, check out my other videos, and again, check out the links below, because they got good stuff. And thanks again, and I'll see you guys in the next update or episode, whichever. I will upload my episode 46 sometime tomorrow or something. Anyway, catch you all later, and I'm going to catch up on some of your videos, so later.